How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
So what's the secret? What if you're giving advice to people that have never been to a film festival before, what's the advice you want to give them in terms of what not to do?
What not to do? I mean, I would say I have like old lady advice. Like my advice is like don't stay out too late and like don't drink too much and make sure you like stay hydrated. So I'm not sure if that's like what you're looking for, but that's like my old lady mom advice.
But have you learned your lesson because of previous experiences? Like this is stuff you've learned.
Well, that's just stuff that I've learned over the years, as far as like as I've grown into being an adult person. That's just things that I try to do in my life as I've gotten older. I mean, my first, I guess, film festival was I think it was like the Hamptons Film Festival when I was like 22, and I was 22. It didn't matter what I did, stay out all night.
I'm familiar. Yeah. I used to be able to bounce back, no longer.
Exactly. You just lose the ability to be able to function the next day.
What I really like about you here at TIFF is how you pick two films that are so close together, Truth and High Rise. It's like they're the same genre, same performance. It's like you really try to, mix it up. No, yeah. I'm totally fucking with you.
I really like to just make the same kind of movie over and over and over again.
While I get to talk to you today, let's start with High Rise. What was it about? What was the experience like? Memorable moments when you think about the making of the film? Is there a day or two you'll always remember?
Yeah, there's a couple things. One was my first day, which was my first scene was being carried up the stairs by two men, and I'm 8 months pregnant in the film, and just screaming at the top of my lungs. And there was a certain amount of danger to the stairs, like they were not that safe. And I just met these two men who then I came to know and be friends with. But I had just met them, and one was at my feet and one's up, under my arms. And I just it was kind of one of those and there's like a fake fire below at the bottom of the stairs, and people yelling and stuff because there's a barricade and all of that. If you see the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And I just kind of was thrown in, and after I'm sweating and blood, and then afterwards I was like, is that okay, Ben? Is that? He was like, in his shoulder shake, and he was like, it's great. And he's just so happy, and that was my sort of introduction to set.
I just realized I probably should have started with something different, and I realized 99% of the people watching this will have not seen the movie. Sure. So I hate asking the generic thing, right. But talk a little bit about who you play, and this is not like the typical mainstream, if you will, movie.
Totally. Yes, so I play Helen Wilder, who's married to Luke Evans' character, and who is, sort of becomes the kind of villain of the film, his character. She's very put upon. She's very quiet and shy at first, and sort of keeps to herself, and then and he's not a very good husband at all. And then she kind of, whereas in the chaos of the building, and as the building kind of, as you'll see, sort of descends into madness, whereas other people go crazy and sort of it brings out the worst in them, it almost brings out the best in her, and she becomes more confident and kind of becomes a happier person in a weird way, and she's a little bit of the most innocent character in the film in that way.
I'm curious, what was your reaction? Was this a project you went after, or was it one of these things where you read the script and you're like, oh my god, I need to do, talk a little bit about your process.
Yeah, for me, I read the script and was just, I was like, oh my god, this is one of the best things that I've read. It's so unusual. I mean, there's nothing about this film that is like anything else. It's just absolutely mad, and yeah, it's crazy, and so. And I think brilliant. It's my kind of movie. I love it. So for me, I was like, I really, really, really wanted to do it, and I remember thinking, there's just no way they're going to let me do it, because it's all British people, and I'm sure they're going to cast a lovely British actress, and then they offered it to me, and it was like, it was one of those old school moments when you get a part and you're like, I got it. I was just so excited. I didn't have to audition, but I just didn't think they would give it to me, so I was beyond excited.
Before we're out of time, I definitely want to jump into Truth for a second. Sure. That's a more conventional, if you will, movie. I saw that, and that really floored me. and I'm very curious. Talk for people that don't know about it. Talk a little bit about who you play, the film, a little generic stuff.
Well, thank you very much. It's very nice. Yeah, it's a completely different movie, and I saw both of these films for the first time back to back, and I love both of them, and I love both of those kinds of movies. I think it's important to have all kinds of films, but they are extremely different. Truth. I play Lucy Scott, who's she comes in and is the sort of part of the crack team of Cate Blanchett and Robert Redford's character, Robert Redford, Stan Rather. And Mary Mapes, Cate Blanchett's character, brings in Dennis Quaid, Topher Grace, and me to sort of be the crack team, investigative team behind the story that they're doing on George W. Bush's time in the National Guard during Vietnam. And so all my stuff was with Kate and Bob. I just like saying that. I actually have trouble saying that. It's weird to me. But yeah, it was like a different kind of dream experience. You know, watching it, I couldn't believe I was in the same frame with Robert Redford and Cate Blanchett. You know.
So that has to be one of the. Now, is that a movie that you have like all of a sudden all your friends are calling you? I'm free today. What are you doing? Can I come to set?
Right. Basically, just like my mom and my aunt. Like there was pretty much. I had them pretty good at John, especially my aunt. I had her pretty good at John Hamm, but then this kind of blew him out of the water a little bit. Like Robert Redford was pretty much the greatest thing I could have ever done for my aunt and for my mom.
So they spent an awful lot of time there.
Oh God, no! I was in Australia. No one was coming to Australia. Yeah.
Oh.
I was too far, but they would have if they could have come.
I understand. There's a lot of FaceTime calls. There's a lot of look at what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, my mom had the opportunity to meet Bob at an event. We went to the Chaplin Awards gala at Lincoln Center in New York, where they were honoring Robert Redford, and I spoke at it, and she got to meet him, and she met him, and they had a lovely conversation, and he walked away, and I turned to my mom and I said, "You're welcome. You're welcome. That's 32 years. You're welcome."
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
What is it like for you now, wrapping on the show, which will go unnamed, because it's like, as awesome as that was, you have to still, it sort of takes up a lot of your time.
Yeah.
And so what is it like now in terms of being able to pick, look at more scripts, have more freedom to do more things?
It's really exciting. I mean, like you see with Truth and High Rise, they're so different. I did High Rise right after we wrapped the series finale of Mad Men, and it was about a week later that I started High Rise. I flew right to Ireland, to Belfast, and just jumped in, and then I did Queen of Earth afterwards, which is super weird and different, and then I did Truth, and so I did 3 films in the time that it takes to film half a season, so obviously there's a benefit to that, It's a great day job. Mad Men, I mean, was an amazing. It's like you can't complain because the writing is so brilliant, and it'll be difficult to find anything as good as that ever again. But to be able to do so much and play different characters and try different things all year is definitely a cool experience for me, because I haven't had that for about 9 years.
No, totally. It's funny though. I've interviewed so many people who've been on Mad Men and Game of Thrones, and it's like every casting director in town has watched both shows.
Yeah.
So it's like all of a sudden everyone knows all the actors.
Yeah, totally. Game of Thrones too. That's a funny thing that's happening, isn't it? Like all the actors from Game of Thrones are now doing movies.
It's Mad Men and Game of Thrones.
Yeah, there are like 2 films that I've been offered that have Games of Thrones people in it. It's like, oh, the Games of Thrones guys in it, different guys.
Well, I mean, that show is the most popular show on the planet, like even more than Walking Dead, and I mean everyone watches it. So because of the importance of international money, you need to have international stars.
Oh, is that what it is? See, I don't understand any of this shit.
Okay. No, but that's what it comes down to. Like being able to sell your movie in Slovakia as well as America.
Of course. Totally. So you have to get a show that everyone watches.
100%.
I haven't seen Game of Thrones.
Well, then you will enjoy the game we're about to play, if you don't mind aiming that at me.
Excellent.
We're going to play a game called Save or Kill. Oh, I have 1 minute left. We're not going to play a game called... Okay, we'll play it real fast. It's called Save or Kill. Yeah. One of these things you can save. One of these is erased from existence forever. What do you save? Okay. It's a personality test. Okay. Now you can aim it at you. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Save Star Wars, kill Star Trek.
I asked this to everyone. We'll see what you say. The Wire or Mad Men?
Oh, well, I mean, I
Say.
gotta have to save Mad Men, but I love The Wire.
Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad?
Oh, Breaking Bad, kill Game of Thrones.
Zelda or Mario?
Oh, save Mario, kill Zelda.
Oh, you just have to say save.
Sorry, just say save.
Yeah. Han Solo or Indiana Jones?
Save Indiana Jones.
The Beatles or Rolling Stones?
Save the Beatles.
Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
Save Harry Potter.
See, you're very decisive.
Really? Some people spend a lot of time thinking about it.
Shit. Iron Man or Captain America?
Save Iron Man.
Twilight or 50 Shades of Grey?
Save Twilight.
Did you ever think you were going to save that? Save Twilight?
No.
Alfred or Yoda?
Save Yoda.
This one's brutal. We'll see if you'll even answer. Scorsese or Spielberg? There it is. I got the reaction.
You got it. I'm going to have to go with Save Scorsese, but I would totally love to work with Spielberg.
my last one because I gotta let you go. Back to the Future or Ghostbusters?
Oh, honestly, Save Back to the Future. I mean, I just watched it more when I was a kid than Ghostbusters, but I love Ghostbusters.
They're both phenomenal.
Yeah.
All these questions are meant to be tough. They're not meant to be easy.
Right.
You're supposed to have to pause.
Of course.
But anyway,
they are all tough. I'm never going to work with Spielberg again, thanks to you.
He's never gonna watch. But anyway, listen. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.